If you've ever dreamed of a career creating computer cartoons, reading measurements on medical meters, or suiting up for some serious surgery, stay tuned next for Road Trip.
My name is Daniel Petrillo, and I was a high school counselor who just wasn't connecting with students. Then it hit me. The best way to teach them is to show them. So I came up with an idea. Once a week, hit the road. Visit schools that teach new skills, professionals who love their jobs. Expose these young people to the kinds of 21st century opportunities their parents never dreamed of, and then share what we've learned with the rest of the school. These road trips are about finding your path in life, harnessing your individuality, getting down to what is uniquely you, and then sharing it with others. Lessons that everyone needs in life, including me. We have a lot of sharp, ambitious students here at Callaway, but none sharper or more ambitious than Jessica Johnson. Top of her class in math and chemistry, Jessica wanted to become a nurse, and to help her out, a local civic club gave her some scholarship money. After the ceremony, the local newspaper did an interview with Jessica, during which she was kind enough to give me credit for helping her choose a college. Jessica chose a 2-year nursing program at a technical college over a more traditional 4-year program at a large university. Why? That's what her parents wanted to know.
Did you know about this, Barbara?
No.
Tech school. Tech school is for kids who want to be welders or automobile mechanics or hairdressers or welders.
You said welders.
Right. Jessie doesn't want to be a welder. She wants to be a doctor.
A nurse.
Huh?
Jessie wants to be a nurse.
Fine, a nurse, but people don't become nurses by going to welding school.
Nobody said anything about welding school.
And who's this advisor who helped her make up her mind? What's his name?
Daniel Petrillo. I met him at open house. He seemed like a very nice young man.
Petroleum?
Petrillo.
What kind of name is that anyway?
I don't know, but it's fun to say. Petrillo.
And what kind of advisor advises intelligent, responsible young people to go to a tech school?
An advisor who knows something we don't know?
Huh?
I'm disappointed that Jessie didn't talk this over with us too, but it's her life. Maybe we should let her make her own decisions.
Well, you do what you want. But I'm going to call that school first thing in the morning and demand a meeting with the principal, the counselors, or anybody else who had anything to do with my daughter going to a tech school.
Sweet picture.
You almost done? You guys got to get back to class.
You want to watch it?
Which college is this?
Central Georgia Technical College.
Edit booth. Mr. Petrillo?
Daniel, Dr. Terrell wants to see you in your office in 15 minutes. As far as I can tell, Jessica Johnson's dad is on the warpath. I don't know. Yeah, and I wish I could stick around and help, but they're holding a stack of Hope Scholarship and Hope Grant applications for me at the central office, and I promised to get them before 10.
No, you go ahead and take off. I can handle the meeting alone.
Good luck.
Bye. Rolling.
Gollum, the creepy little character from Lord of the Rings,
King Kong,
video game creatures,
and Saturday morning cartoon characters.
all popular, all animated, and all brought to life in multimedia labs like this one at Central Georgia Technical College in Macon.
Here, students begin by mastering the basics of drawing, layout, perspective, and color theory. Then they apply those skills to projects that they themselves write, design, and animate.
Realistic-looking human animation has always been difficult to imitate on paper. That's why computer animators often use something called a motion capture suit to create figures that walk and move like real people.
There's different nodes in certain sections that pick up the movement. One would be in his wrist, one would be in his hand. The other one is basically, if he turns around, is positioned right here. That keeps up with the data. As he comes down the side, he has one right here on the corner of his hip. Then he also has one down here next to his calf.
Central Georgia students begin the motion capture process by first gathering a long sequence of human motion data.
The person wearing the suit goes through a series of specific moves, and each move is recorded by the motion capture software.
Soon, the computer has recorded enough individual bits of information that an animator can make up new motions based on what was recorded.
The result is the ability to tell a story where all of the movements look real. It looks real because it is real, taken from the actual movements of an actual actor.
If you're interested in art, graphic design, video production, or communication, knowing the basics of computer animation can open up a whole new world of career opportunities. Career opportunities not just with cartoon animation studios, but
with architectural firms,
television producers,
and advertising agencies.
According to instructor Jeff Cope, once you get the training you need to become a computer animation professional, then talent, creativity, professionalism, and experience will help you land the job you want.
Talent, creativity, professionalism, and experience. Those 4 traits are even more important in this classroom, on the other side of the Central Georgia Technical College campus.
These people are studying to become orthopedic technicians, medical professionals who specialize in bone injuries or problems involving muscles, joints, and ligaments.
Today they're learning how to put a cast on a broken arm. As instructor Al Ramirez looks on and critiques their work, they start by cutting a hole in a sleeve and slipping it on.
Then the arm is carefully wrapped in thin cotton gauze.
Let me see. All right, don't forget that you gotta fold that over. It's important to know not so much how to do the casting, but you have to know the why you're doing it. You have to understand the perils of it, what could go wrong when you put on a cast way too tight or way too loose.
Next, a special plaster roll is dipped in water and applied over the gauze.
I give them criticism, I encourage them for them to get better and better, every time they come to the lab. It's not bad, I like it.
A few minutes later, the plaster is hard, ready for one final inspection.
Not too bad. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me see your other hand for a second. This time you didn't do too bad.
This is one of only 6 officially recognized orthopedic technology programs in the country, and the only one of its kind in the Southeast.
Becoming an orthopedic technician looks interesting and kind of fun, but is this a good field to get into? Once these people graduate from their course and pass their medical board exams, will there be jobs waiting for them?
There's always opportunities for orthopedic techs throughout the country, especially California, Texas, Northeast, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C. Plenty of jobs in Atlanta.
If the current trend continues, each time you go to a clinic or hospital, the actual doctor may ask you what's wrong, but you'll likely be turned over to a staff specialist for treatment.
That's where you may come in contact with an orthopedic technician trained at Central Georgia Technical College. An orthopedic technician with talent, creativity, professionalism, and experience.
That's great. That's really great. We'll show it to the entire school Friday afternoon. Excuse me.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Petrillo. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, Callaway High School apologizes for not informing you of Jessica's decision to get an associate degree in nursing before it came out in the newspaper. Furthermore,
I feel
Mr.
it only fair to
Petrillo's-
warn you both, that I've asked an administrator from our local hospital, a good friend of mine, to join us. He's running a little late, but I wanted you to hear straight from the horse's mouth how foolish it is to compare a 4-year nursing degree to a 2-year course in nursing at a tech school.
First of all, Mr. Johnson, I think your concept of a technical school may be a little outdated.
Outdated? What? Are you calling me old, you little pipsqueak?
Dad! Mr. Johnson, you're playing in my yard now, and I'm the only one who gets to call this little pipsqueak a little pipsqueak. Kindly sit down. Mr. Petrillo happens to be right. The vocational technical schools you grew up with are now called technical colleges.
Same difference?
Big difference. Technical colleges today prepare both young people and adults for careers in everything from medicine to computer programming. Now, I brought along this brochure that
I don't want to read any brochure.
I do.
No matter what you call them, technical colleges are for students who are not
Not college material?
Right.
Wrong. Nearly 2/3 of all the people who graduate from technical colleges get more training later on.
Meaning?
Meaning that once your Jessica gets her 2-year degree, she may be able to apply it to a 4-year degree at a medical college if that's what she wants to do.
Jessica wants to start her nursing career as soon as possible, Mr. Johnson.
I'm tired of sitting in classes.
Attending a technical college may allow her to begin her career faster than...
Did he talk you into this?
Nobody talked me into anything.
Then where did this technical college idea come from?
I got it at Coosa Valley.
Coosa Valley, I think so.
Coosa what?
Mr. Petrillo took a group of us on a road trip to Coosa Valley Technical College.
To visit their sonography and echocardiography classes.
I'm pretty sure that was the first time I saw myself going into healthcare. Today we live in a global environment. Even with the customer call centers in India, manufacturing American goods in Mexico, and made in Japan stems on just about everything from toys to Toyotas. Coosa Valley Technical College in Rome, Georgia still believes that there are plenty of good-paying jobs in the Peach State. Good-paying jobs for people with the right education and good work ethics.
13 microseconds times that is going to give us our PRP.
Opportunities in the field of sonography have made it one of the popular programs at Coosa Valley Technical College. What is sonography, sometimes called ultrasonography?
Ultrasonography is the use of sound waves to scan various parts of the body.
An instrument called a transducer sends out those sound waves, which bounce off objects in the body making weird science fiction noises. The echo of that noise forms a picture that shows how far away the object is, how large it is, its shape, and whether it's solid or liquid. Ultrasounds are used by obstetricians to check on the progress of unborn babies, but they're also used by other kinds of doctors.
All of the medical areas use ultrasound, whether it's cardiologists, vascular surgeons, radiologists, surgeons, family practitioners, internal medicine. It's non-invasive, which means that the patient doesn't get harmed or hurt in any way while they're having the procedures done. It's relatively inexpensive. It's very mobile. It doesn't require a lot of building, and there's no radiation involved with it. And because of those factors, it's utilized more and more and more. And we need people who are trained and competent and understand the workings behind it, the physics behind it, and the anatomy and physiology and the pathology that goes along behind it. And so we developed the programs here just about 1999 is when we first started.
In an ultrasound classroom such as this, Coosa Valley students learn how to prepare the patient for an examination, how to use the scanning tools, and how to read and interpret the scan itself. Medical professionals who use these same tools to study possible problems with the human heart are called echocardiographers. And vascular cardiologists help identify blockages of blood flow to the brain that could produce a stroke.
Our echocardiography students work with cardiologists, and they will work either in a clinic or in the cardiologist office. The general sonography students will work primarily with radiologists in the radiology department, but many times they will also work with an obstetrician in an obstetrician's office. And then our vascular sonography students will either work in the vascular lab at the hospital or in the vascular surgeon's office.
This program at Coosa Valley Technical College is very popular. There's even a waiting list. Why? Because ultrasound technicians are in demand just about everywhere.
Most of our students have job opportunities before they graduate. Now that doesn't mean that they quit and go to a job, but they have a job waiting for them by the time that they graduate. We have very seldom do we have a student who goes more than a month after they graduate before they have a job.
We're looking for students here that are motivated and determined to make the best of their careers.
High school students who are wanting to go into this program should take all of the sciences they possibly can. The more sciences they take, the more math classes they take, the better they're going to be. If a person has difficulty with the math or science classes, they may want to think about doing something else.
At Coosa Valley Technical College, instruction and all other activities are student-centered. The faculty is made up of caring professionals who help students understand the value of hard work, homework, and teamwork.
The quality of life depends upon the value that society puts on their work. And in the medical field, like we're able to do here at Coosa Valley Technical College, the training they get puts a large value on their time. So your time can be worth $6 an hour or your time can be worth $20 an hour. And the difference is what you did to get the training to get you that $6 job or that $20 job. It's the same amount of time. And society puts a different value on it, and so you get paid more if you learn more and you study harder.
While Jessica's road trip group was down in Macon, Mr. Petrillo took another bunch of us to Columbus Technical College. The director of the nursing program, Mr. Ken Gordon, met everybody and divided us into two groups. Leandra and I met with instructor and registered nurse Kelly Bird for a quick tour of the operating room.
They are actually right now working on a laparoscopic case.
What's that?
Well,
Laparoscopic? What does that
it
mean?
means that they can take a scope and that they can go into the abdominal cavity and actually do surgery with few or very small incisions.
Surgical assistants serve as kind of the surgeon's extra eyes and ears. When a particular instrument is called for, an assistant must have it ready, or at least within reach. Seconds count in an operating room, so it's important that everybody pay attention and have a working knowledge of what's supposed to happen next.
I have a quick question. What do you think is a very important quality coming into this business that someone would need to have?
Number one, you've got to care about others. If you come in for, some people, I've heard them say, I want to do this because I can make good money. That's true, you can make good money. But if you don't have that caring spirit, then I think you're in the wrong field. Also working in surgery or in any medical field, you've got to be able to stay on your feet. If you have a trauma come in, we have a local hospital here that is a level 2 trauma center, that you may have things that come in and you can't go to lunch or you can't take a break. You've got to be willing to do that. You have got to be able to critically think, to be able to think beyond this and think, if I'm doing this, what are the consequences? Or if I do something else, what are the consequences? Or can I do it better?
A few minutes later, Mr. Petrillo caught up with Ellie and Wes in another part of Columbus Technical College's Health Science Building. Mr. William Wood, department head at the Pharmacy Technician program, was teaching them how to create a drug capsule using sugar. First, the dosage is weighted with a special scale that automatically subtracts the weight of the holding tray. Then, it is ground with a mortar and pestle into an easy-to-digest powder. The powder is then spread over a special tray that fills a row of gelatin capsules. Pop on the top, and there you go. Pharmacy technicians help licensed pharmacists provide medication and other healthcare products to patients. One of their most important jobs is to make sure that the information on the prescription is complete and accurate. Sometimes they work in drugstores, in hospitals, in nursing homes. Pharmacy technicians are also a big part of the mail order and internet drug services many people take advantage of. Ellie asked Mr. Wood if becoming a pharmacy technician was as intense as she heard it was.
Most think it's intense because when you think of pharmacy, all the drugs,
Yeah.
spelling the drugs, the trade name, the generic name.
It's like learning another language almost.
Almost. The clinical uses, all of the auxiliary labels, whether to take it with food, take it with milk, take it on an empty stomach. You will have to learn all of that because when you dispense a medication and the patient asks you a question or you hand the medication to them, you need to know this.
People want and need good medical care, and more doctors are choosing to allow their trusted assistants to do some of the more routine procedures. Same with pharmacy technicians across Georgia. They're assuming more responsibility behind the counter every day. That's why if you're looking for a good job with lots of opportunities to grow, everyone we talked to at Columbus Technical College said, think about becoming a surgery or pharmacy technician.
Stop. There's just no way that a technical college can compare to a traditional 4-year college.
I don't want to argue, Mr. Johnson, but several doctors have told me that they prefer working with associate degree nurses. Their attitudes are more positive, their work ethics are outstanding, and nurses who attend school and work in the same area, they bond with their patients better.
Do I look stupid enough to believe all that?
Bob.
Mark, there you are.
Sorry I'm late. The meeting ran a little long.
No, thanks so much for coming by. You know my wife, Barbara, my daughter, Jessica.
Hey, Jenna.
Felicia Terrell, how do you do?
Well, very nice to meet you.
Daniel Petrillo.
Daniel?
Dr. Hughes is chief administrator of County Memorial. Mark, I've asked you here because we've been debating the merits of 2-year schools versus 4-year schools. Before you speak, however, I want to verify that you and I have not compared notes before this meeting today.
No, we haven't.
Doctor, You employ registered nurses.
Yes, of course.
And do you employ any nurses with 2-year associate RN degrees?
Yes, quite a few.
Now, how do they compare?
Oh, well, in many ways there is no comparison. I mean, well, my registered nurses are very professional, to be sure, but for me, the associate degree nurses, they're a lot easier to work with. I mean, their attitudes are a lot more positive. Their work ethic is outstanding. And many of them actually went to school in the area, so they seem to be able to connect with the patients better than the RNs that were, went to school out of state. And in my opinion, that's just a real advantage. Jessica, my wife said that your picture was in the newspaper?
Yes, I talked to the reporter.
Never mind her. Let's talk about the salaries.
All right.
Let's say you hire 2 nurses fresh out of school, one with a 4-year degree, one with a 2-year. Who gets more money?
Oh, neither one of them.
You hear? He said neither one of them gets... You mean they get the same?
Yeah, I mean, base pay is no different, 2-year or 4-year. So, you're looking at technical college?
Looking, yes, sir.
Well, I can't say enough good things about the associate RNs on my staff. I mean, they are knowledgeable, they're responsible, they're fun to work with, and they genuinely care about our patients. Plus, if they graduate from technical college in Georgia, then I have the guarantee to fall back on.
What guarantee?
Here. Special standards allow the Georgia system of technical colleges to offer their business and industry partners this guarantee. If one of our graduates educated under a standard program or his/her employer finds that the graduate is deficient in one or more competencies, the technical college will retrain the employee at no instructional cost to the employee or the employer.
What's that mean?
It means that if Dr. Hughes hires a technical college nurse that doesn't measure up, they'll be retrained for free.
And that guarantee is in effect for a period of 2 years after graduation.
Yeah, it's really a good deal for the nurses, the patients, and the doctors. Anything else I can say, Bob?
Oh, no, you've said quite enough.
Okay.
Thank you for coming by, Doctor.
Oh, I'm glad I could help.
Before you go, Doctor, I just want to verify that you and I have not compared notes before this meeting today.
No, we haven't. Oh.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.
You can't go to a tech school because I'm not going to pay for it.
Well, you may not have to, Mr. Johnson. Well, here, have a form. Jessica's Hope Grant will pay for her tuition. Well, the Civic Club money that she got will help her cover her books. And there are some programs that allow an associate RN to work off their student loans after they graduate. You may not have to spend a dime.
Bah.
Thank you. Thank you both. I love your name.
Thank you.
May I have one of those?
Thanks.
First of all, you should have had Jessica talk things over at home before announcing her college plans. And 2, a good counselor listens to his students, matches them up with the career training that best suits them, 2-year, 4-year, or whatever. It's hard to face down uninformed parents. But you did, and I admire that. Good work.
Good work.
To learn more about the schools featured in this episode of Road Trip, go to their individual websites or visit www.dtae.org.
This episode of Road Trip was inspired by the experiences of Kayla Cheney, a radiologic technology student at Okefenokee Technical College. Kayla received a nursing scholarship her senior year in high school and had both the grades and ambition to pursue a medical degree at a 4-year college. While working at Coffee County Regional Hospital, however, she made an observation that would change the direction of her life.
Something I realized by doing the RN internship is that the LPN students that would come through from the technical college were so much more comfortable in the clinical setting than the RN students because they begin their clinicals right in the first quarter. Well, when an RN student doesn't get to begin their clinicals until their second year into school, it's just like a light bulb came on and I knew, hey, technical college. That's one of the key moments for me when I knew technical college was absolutely right for me. It's when I realized that these LPN students are better, more comfortable in the clinical setting, and I felt like they were better trained than the RN students that were coming through a traditional college. Whenever I said, hey, I want to go to a technical college, I had some people say, no way, you've taken these college prep classes, these AP courses, go to a university.
Kayla ignored that advice, and today is on her way toward the career she really wants.
Right now I'm becoming a radiographer, which is, taking x-rays and doing things of that nature. And then once you get that basic certification, you can go into different modalities such as nuclear medicine or radiation therapy. Well, I've chosen radiation therapy. It's very intense, but it's very rewarding as well. I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing.
Recently, Kayla Cheney competed against 37 other technical college students to earn the statewide Gold Award, plus recognition as the Technical College System of Georgia's Student of the Year. Grand prize, a new car. Now Kayla serves as an ambassador for technical education in Georgia and makes public appearances throughout the state. Kayla Cheney, representing the new image of Georgia's technical colleges.
I'm glad to know that I'm on my way. I don't think a lot of people can say that, and I'm glad to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be.